Hey guys, I've recently been asked by some of my students to create a video explaining a Latinva routine and the fundamental building blocks that we use to create a routine for Latinva. Now every instructor is different and every instructor sees it in a different way. I'm a very visual learner, so I've created some props, visual props, to help me guide you to understand the building blocks and the fundamentals of a Latinva routine. Okay? An advanced, intermediate to advanced Latinva routine will have 3 segments. Segment 1, segment 2, and segment 3. Within our segments are blocks. Okay, so segments are only file folders. They're just file folders that hold our blocks. Our blocks are the meat of our routine. Okay, so our blocks are the steps that we learn, the dance steps that we learn, the tangos, the mambos, the cha-chas, the bachatas. Those are in your blocks, right? Those are the meat of your blocks. So each block, you have 2 of them in a segment. Okay, so each block, it can range, we count music, right? And we count our dance steps. So one musical phrase is 8 counts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So each count equals a step that we take, all right? So in a basic routine, we typically have about 4 counts of 8. Basic, that's very basic. And it's hard as a choreographer for Latinva to keep your steps to that amount, to only have 4 counts of 8. I typically go over that, and there's nothing wrong with that. With Latinva, there are no rules as far as that goes. Your choreography can be 4 counts of 8, 16 counts of 8, 32 counts of 8, whatever your class can handle, but basic, if you're just starting out and you're just starting to learn it, a basic class should only teach between 4 to 6 counts of 8 in a block. All right, so we have our blocks, and let's just say we're talking about a basic. So to just keep it simple in all of this, I'm just going to say 4 counts of 8, right? So this first block, block number 1, segment 1, will begin with you leading with your right foot, which is typically what most dance sessions do. They lead with the right. And what's different about Latinva is that we ask you to also lead with your left in block 2, right? So block 1 will always lead with your right. Block 2 will always lead with your left. All right? So within this first block, you're going to be being taught some steps that will begin on the right, but somewhere in the middle of that routine, you're going to transition so that you'll end on your left, right? So now you've ended your series on your left foot, so now you can start over again, same steps, but leading with the left foot. Okay, so on block number 2 in any segment will always begin on the left foot. Same steps as block number 1, but block number 2 starts with the left foot. And somewhere within your routine, somewhere within those steps in your block that you're learning, you will transition yourself back to the right side. Okay? So that basic Latinva routine, 1 segment. Sometimes you switch it around, but we won't get into that. Once the class has a feel for it, knows Latinva well, then you can start playing with that. but basically 1 segment. Advanced will have, like I said, 1, 2, and 3 segments. They all work the same way. They may be longer, but they all work the same way. Block 1 will start on the right, transition somewhere in there to your left. Block 2 will then begin on your left, and somewhere in that block, you'll transition to your right. Okay? Now, what makes an intermediate to advanced class a little bit different from your basic is that you have cutting going on. All right, and I've built this little form here to kind of show you, although, you know what, you probably can't read what I put down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to post it to my Latinva website so you can see what I mean. But what cut means is, okay, you've learned all your segments. You've learned 3 segments of your Latinva routine. When we say cut, hand signal for cut, right? Cut. Cutting means that you will begin your routine like normal, segment 1 on your right foot. And that will transition you to your left foot. But instead of starting segment 1 on your left side, I'm going to ask you to start segment 2, block 2, left side, right? And then after you finish that, you're now going to be on your right foot. I'm going to ask you to do segment 3, block 1 on the right side. Okay, after that's done, you're going to be on your left foot and you're going to start that whole thing all over again. Segment 1, left foot, segment 2, right foot, segment 3, left foot, and that starts you up all over again. And you just continue and continue and continue. We bring those beats up per minute, get that heart rate going. It's a lot of fun. I hope that makes some sense to you. If not, like I said, I'm going to post this little explanation on my website. But that is just the gist of it. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but you know, I look at it as a puzzle and as a challenge. And I got all the pieces to the puzzle, and I have that hour in my Latinva class to figure out where all those pieces go. And at the very end, I've got a beautiful picture. I've got a beautiful dance. So I find so much joy in this, and I hope you do too. I want to help you get there. I want to help you learn it, and I want to help you enjoy it and stay healthy doing it. All right, guys, we'll see you in class.